Hi guys, I'm your host Bo Braywing, and today we're doing more Java coding. So let's get started. So where we left off, we added this paint component class, which calls the super paint component from the JPanel class, and what we added. So for today, we're going to be drawing boxes to the screen. So to do that, first we need a random class, private random, and then we need to say okay, import that class. We need to say random equals new random, and I have to remember it's capitalized. Okay, now we got that. Now we need some variables. Okay, int red is equal to actually for this probably want to have that. So got the random class in correctly, so now we need to change up this width and height. While it's nice to have 200 and 400, we need to define a specific tile size. So to do that, we have to say byte TileSize, creating this new variable, is equal to, let's set it to 32 for now. We can change it later. I can change it later if I need to shrink the size or raise the size. Okay, so now now we need to know how many vertical tiles we have. So int vertical tiles is equal to let's say we want 20. Let's say we want the vertical tiles to be 16, and for horizontal tiles we want it to be maybe 22 in size. So that's what we're setting up, is variables that tells us how many tiles we want to extend the screen. So now that we have that, we're going to have to change up our width and height. Oh yeah. And also have our scale factor to consider as well. I'm thinking of changing the scale factor a little bit, but for now it's fine. So now for width, and our width, we're going to call it, actually, let's call it a new variable called int scale width is equal to our tile size times our horizontal tiles, and then let's say our scale is scale. Let's see, and then int scale height is equal to tile size times vertical tiles times scale. Alright, so it's throwing error because our scale is at the bottom of the page, so I'm going to move that up a little bit. So now, make things better. Okay. Oh yeah, we have to cast the information to ints because some of the data is still in bytes or doubles, whatnot. So that fixes that, and then I'm gonna remove the old values for now, and then going to say width equals scaled width, and height is equal to scaled height. Now what that's going to do is going to change our screen to be whatever this combination of sizes. I'm going to increase it to 2.0 just to see is so. Oh, I don't even need to scale the width here because I'm already scaling it. Scaling it there, so. But okay, so if I'm not using scaled width, I can say okay, well, since I already have this, I can say I'll call it TiledWidth instead. TiledWidth, TiledHeight, and what that should do, and then remove the scale because we're multiplying it later. Okay, so logistically it doesn't need to be up there or down there, it can be anywhere. Alright, and then change this to TiledWidth, and change this to TiledHeight. Right, and let's run the code just to see our changes in action. Okay, so that's a big problem. So yeah, I made the box a little bit too big, so it's it's way too big, so it's going beyond the visible screen. But let me show you what I'm seeing. Alright, so basically it is filling up the screen, but yeah, it's doing it in the wrong way. So I'm going to have to fix this. Far too big horizontally wise. Okay, okay, so definitely need to lower it some, so let's try 22 pixels. Okay, that's definitely a better screen. It's not taking up as much space on my computer, so that's a good screen. All right, so now we have this nice screen that we can use, and now we're ready to basically put objects on the screen. So we can do that next. Okay. So now that that's settled, we have this. We need a way to. We're also going to need a color class. for individual colors, private color tiles, or actually colored tiles, just to make it more specific. So now we have this, and now I'm going to create one private method called private void build tiles, and for this we're going to need we're going to need an int width and an int height. Now this width and height is basically that's going to set up our the size of how many tiles we display on the screen. And say int color size is equal to width times height, and say for int I equals 0, I is less than color size, I plus plus. And so we got the beginning of our for loop, and now we need to do int red equals random next int, I say 256, int green equals random next int 256, and int blue equal to random next int 256, and then now we got the three main colors. Random values we're going to set oh yeah, and we need to set the colored tiles, and we have to remember, I'll just call it tiles just to make easier to keep track of and make an array. Okay, so tiles I is equal to a new color, and we're going to pass in our red, our green, and our blue, and I have to remember it's that. Okay, and then we need to pass in for this we need to set the tiles, so tiles is equal to new color, and then we need this array and say color size. Have to remember the size is capitalized. From there, we need to go back down to here and say you need to basically do build tiles, pass in the, let's see, you need to pass in the horizontal tiles and the vertical tiles. Now, the reason we're not passing in the tile size right now is because we only need to know the width. We need to know how many tiles are across and up and down. That's all we need for that. Now that we have that, we can build another for loop in the paint component. Now this is what's going to be displaying our tiles to screens. I is less than tiles dot length I plus plus. Okay, and then we're going to be wanting DrawRect. So we're going to want a rectangle, and we also have to do a few things. We also need color as well, so b.setColor, and we're going to set it to our tiles I variable, which will set the color of that. And our color, what tile size we're using for this is 22. So, but since we're scaling it up, we also have to scale that up too. So we'll probably private scaled tile size is equal, and then just want to have this, and we have to have it. I'm gonna make it a short. We say scaled. Has to be occurring after our scale, otherwise this is not going to work. Scaled tile size is equal to tile size times scale. Okay, and pass that to the short. And now we have a variable we can use, so we say scaled tile size, and scaled tile size. And now these i's are going to have to be changed a little bit to an x variable and a y variable, because you need the extra, basically a way to adjust them. So let's see, and we're going to have int x equals 0, int y equals 0. Okay. And then down here to say x is equal to it plus equals scaled tile size, and if x plus scaled tile size is greater than let's see, wanting it to say basically if it's greater than our game width, which is what we want, so get width, then we want to set it back to then we want to set it back to x equals 0, and then we say y plus equals scaled tile size. Okay, so we have that. And if everything's working correctly, that should be drawing tiles to the screen. Okay, so not exactly what I was looking for, but it is working. As you can see, I now have like these little different boxes, but they're drawn and they're not filled in. So to change that, we need to say FillRect instead of DrawRect. So we have all these bunch of lines, so we'll do that next. Alright, and now instead of this DrawRect, we're going to say FillRect. And now with this change, we can run the code again. Okay, that is much better. I can see the tiles are on the screen, right? As you can see, the tiles are now displaying correctly on the screen. So we have this nice checkerboard pattern of tiles that we can view. And since it's a random class, the tiles are going to change color each time you swap the tiles. So we made pretty good progress. So. Right, and so that is how you make a colored tile map for the screen. So let's look at our code that we changed. Added the tiles and the random class, scaled tile size, changed up the scale a little bit, added the tile size, few more local variables, and yeah, and then added this for loop at the bottom. So yeah, made a lot of progress today. So I think I'll call the episode here. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Paul Graywing signing out. Bye bye.